moving forward. Now, in this very same question, we are having number of prime roses with us that is having a sequence of 2, 6 and 12. Now, the thing is कि यहाँ पर हमारे पास equal difference नहीं है, although यहाँ पर भी आप जो हैं वो ये पता कर सकते हैं कि फोर्थ और फिफ्थ में हमारे पास कितने प्राइम रोजेस होंगे. So can anyone of you tell me what would be the count for the prime roses in the fourth and the fifth flower bed? Okay, perfect. So we have 20 and then we are going to have 30. अब इसकी लॉजिक क्या है, इसकी लॉजिक समझिएगा जरा. We were having a difference of 4 over here. तो यहाँ पर हमारा डिफरेंस हो गया है 6. तो आप अगर नोटिस करें ग्रेजुअली हमारा डिफरेंस इंक्रीज होना है. सो इट इज गोइंग टू बी 8 एंड देन फाइनली इट इज गोइंग टू बी अ डिफरेंस ऑफ 10. तो कुछ इस तरीके से हमारी जो वैल्यूज हैं वो इंक्रीज हो रही हैं बिकॉज द डिफरेंस इज एक्चुअली इंक्रीजिंग बाय 2. एक तो ये मेथड है. दूसरा मेथड ये होगा दैट यू कुड सी दैट इट इज अ वैल्यू ऑफ क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट. आपने 1 और 2 को मल्टीप्लाई करके ये नंबर निकाला था. We will do the same with 2 and 3 to figure out the term over here and then moving forward. तो आप ये नोटिस कर सकते हैं कि ये एक क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट का सीक्वेंस बन रहा है. So this is how you would get all of your values for this particular sequence. Now moving forward, हमारे पास जो थर्ड वैल्यू है वो है टोटल नंबर ऑफ प्लांट्स. तो टोटल नंबर ऑफ प्लांट्स फाइंड करना इज वेरी इजी. यू जस्ट नीड टू ऐड अप द वैल्यूज. तो आपके पास टोटल प्लांट्स आ जाएंगे. Like in the first one, we have 12 plants. We have added up the primroses and the pansies. And we'll just do the exact same thing with the later ones as well. So that is going to be 20, 30, 42, and then 56. Very good, Vardha. Your answer was absolutely correct. It's 42 and then it's 56 afterwards. Now, moving forward, अब हमने जो है यहाँ पर पार्ट बी को अगर देखना है तो पार्ट बी में हमें कहा जा रहा है दैट वी नीड टू फिगर आउट द नंबर ऑफ पेंसीज एंड फ्लावर बेड एन. तो यहाँ पर ये बेसिकली मुझसे एक्सप्रेशन मांग रहे हैं. एज यू कैन सी इन द क्वेश्चन दे आर डिमांडिंग द एक्सप्रेशन फ्रॉम मी. तो हम इक्वेशन बना लेंगे. अब पेंसीज की इक्वेशन अगर आप में से कोई मुझे बनाकर बता सके व्हाट वुड बी द इक्वेशन फॉर द पेंसीज इन nth पैटर्न और इन nth फ्लावर बेड. एनी वन ऑफ यू हैविंग एनी सॉर्ट ऑफ आइडिया? पेंसीज आर राइट ओवर हियर. तो अगर आप में से कोई मुझे बता सके. Yes, any one of you? Okay, I'll just give you an idea. देखें यहाँ पर आप अगर डिफरेंस को नोटिस करेंगे तो हमारा जो डिफरेंस है वो इक्वल है. We have the exact same difference in each term. So what we are going to do is we are going to write down the difference first. फिर उसको हमने मल्टीप्लाई करवाना है n के साथ. So that makes up 4n. और उसके बाद मैंने यहाँ पर प्लस करना है कुछ एक सर्टेन वैल्यू सो दैट वी एंड अप हैविंग लाइक 10 इन द फर्स्ट टर्म. तो मेरे पास अगर 4 टाइम्स 1 हो जाता है दैट वुड गिव मी 4. आई वांट 10. तो मैंने इसमें प्लस 6 करना है. I'll do the same with the general formula as well right over here. So that's how you end up getting the formula for the nth flower bed and its number of pansies. Moving forward हमारे पास है prime roses. और प्राइम रोजेस एक्चुअली हमें क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट करके फाइंड करने को दिए गए थे। इफ यू रिमेम्बर, मैंने अभी बताया था कि हमारे जो प्राइम रोजेस हैं वो क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट बनाकर आ रहे हैं। वी हैव 2, 6, 12 एंड देन वी हैव 20 एंड 30 प्राइम रोजेस राइट ओवर हियर। तो आप अगर नोटिस करें तो मेरे पास एक्चुअली जो प्राइम रोजेस फाइंड हो रहे हैं दे आर बाय द क्रॉस प्रोडक्ट ऑफ द टर्म्स। सो दैट्स हाउ यू आर गोइंग टू क्रिएट अ फॉर्मूला एज वेल। तो आप फॉर्मूला कैसे बनाओगे? n को मल्टीप्लाई करवाओगे आगे वाली टर्म के साथ। सो इट्स एक्चुअली गोइंग टू बी n times n plus 1. Now we have n times n plus 1 and that is going to give you the formula for the prime roses. Now moving forward, इन्होंने मुझे ये कहा है कि आप ये प्रूव करें that the total number of plants in the flower bed are actually expressed by the formula of n plus 1 times n plus 3, n plus 2 times n plus 3. So what you are actually going to do over here is कि आपने क्योंकि टोटल फ्लावर बेड्स फाइंड करने के लिए या टोटल फ्लावर काउंट फाइंड करने के लिए वैल्यूज को ऐड किया था। इफ यू रिमेंबर, we added up the prime roses and the pansies to get the total number of flowers. तो टोटल हमारे जो फ्लावर्स थे उनको हमने फाइंड करने के लिए बाकी वैल्यूज को ऐड किया था। we'll do the same with the formula as well. अब मेरे पास दोनों फॉर्मूलाज मौजूद हैं। I have 4n plus 6 and I have got n times n plus 1. So you will end up having the total as 4n plus 6 plus n times n plus 1. आप चाहें तो इसको लाइक स्क्वायर भी कर सकते हैं एंड इफ यू विश टू लाइक सिंप्लीफाई इट तो आप सिंप्लीफाई भी कर सकते हैं। द थिंग इज दैट यू जस्ट नीड टू हैव द सेम फॉर्मेट एज दे हैव प्रोवाइडेड टू यू। n प्लस 2 और n प्लस 3 का प्रोडक्ट बना रहे हैं हमारे एग्जामिनर, तो हमने भी वही पैटर्न यूज करना है। सो वी आर जस्ट गोइंग टू सॉल्व इट और इसको सॉल्व करते हुए हमने फाइनल सीक्वेंस वही जनरेट करना होगा जो एग्जामिनर ने हमें दिया है, दैट वाज n plus 2 times n plus 3. नाउ लेट्स ट्राई दिस आउट। तो अगर मैं चाहूँ कि इसको सॉल्व कर लूँ, सो आई विल जस्ट मेक इट 4n plus 6 plus n square plus n. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make it as n square plus 5n plus 6. मैंने 4n और नॉर्मल जो हमारा ओनली n था उन दोनों को ऐड कर दिया। आई एंडेड अप एज 5n ओवर हियर। देन मूविंग फॉरवर्ड आई जस्ट नीड टू डू द मिडिल टर्म ब्रेकिंग। तब कोई ऐसे दो नंबर सोचने हैं जो हमें मल्टीप्लाई होकर 6 दे दें और ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट होकर 5 क्रिएट कर दें। दैट्स ओनली पॉसिबल विद 3 and 2. If any one of you is having any problem with the middle term breaking over here, तो आप मुझसे पूछ लें, otherwise I'll move on. Yes, any one of you having any sort of query with the middle term breaking performed over here? Okay, it seems like all of you are perfectly clear. तो अब हम इसको carry करेंगे। We have n square plus 2n plus 3n plus 6. So I can just make it as n times n plus 2 and 3 times n plus 2 as well. And I'll end up having n plus 2 and n plus 3 in the brackets, just like the way the examiner was asking. तो आप इस तरीके से रिड्यूस कर सकते हैं अपने प्रॉपर इनिशियल इक्वेशन को into this final equation as per the demand of the examiner. Now the thing over here is कि ये क्वेश्चन अगर आप नोटिस करें तो मुझे दिया गया है for 2 marks. Part C was given for 2 marks. So the first mark is actually going to be over here, जहां पर आपने sort out कर लिया है. The final mark is going to be over here once you are done with the proper middle term breaking. तो पहले जब आपने sort out कर लिया वर्किंग को, that you are perfectly clear कि भाई मुझे इन्हीं तरीकों से या इन्हीं स्टेप्स के थ्रू आंसर जनरेट करना है. वंस यू आर क्लियर विद दैट इन योर माइंड, you would end up getting a 1 mark over there. तो यहाँ पर 1 मार्क मिल जाएगा आपको. Afterwards, आपने जब middle term breaking perform कर दी है and you end up getting the exact same answer, you'll end up getting the final 2nd mark. So that's the marking division for this type of question. Now we are going to try out another similar question that would also be from paper number 2. और ये क्वेश्चन मेरे पास कुछ इस तरीके से है. Now over here the examiner is saying a series of shapes made of matchsticks is shown below, जिसमें हमारे पास शेप 1 2 3 मौजूद हैं, शेप 4 नहीं है. ये कह रहे हैं कि मुझे शेप 4 बनाकर दिखा दो. शेप 4 इज वेरी इजी. इफ यू सी, हमारे पास जो शेप 1 है, यहाँ पर जो आपको हाइट नजर आ रही होगी, दैट इज फॉर 2 बॉक्सेस एंड द लेंथ इज फॉर 3 बॉक्सेस. तो आपने क्या करना है, आपने हाइट को रखना है n+1 और बेस को रखना है n+2 and you'll end up drawing a proper image for the 4th shape. मैं आपको बनाकर दिखा देता हूँ so that you have a better idea of it. So if I'm on shape 4, the height must be n+1. Height n+1 होनी चाहिए, which means that I will end up having a height somewhat like this. जबकि अगर आप width check करें तो आपकी width हर कॉलम में, like on the left column and on the right column, it's completely of 1 box. तो आपकी width 1 box ही रहनी है like this, और यहाँ तक आपने reduce करना है and then you have 6 boxes for the base. क्योंकि हमारी base जो है वो actually n+2 है. So if we are on shape 4, we will have how many boxes as a base? 6 boxes. Now you would complete the rest of the figure and it would draw something like this. Now this is your shape 4. Now I want you to let me know what would be the height and the base for shape 7. If I'm talking about shape 7, तो मेरी height और base क्या होगी, आप में से कोई बता सकता है? Any one of you? Yes, what would be the height and base of shape 7? Any idea, anyone? As per the formula logic, we will end up getting a height of 8 boxes with a base of 9 boxes. I'll just draw this one for you. हमारे पास height बननी है as 8 boxes. It would be somewhat like this. So that's 8 boxes. Now the base shall be of 9 boxes like this. Width would exactly be of 1 box even at the 7th shape, and it would look something like this. Now I hope you all are perfectly clear on this. अगर किसी को कोई problem, कोई query है तो पूछ लें, otherwise we'll move forward. Yes, any one of you having any sort of query? Okay, now moving forward, हमारे पास next part है जहाँ पर मुझे कहा जा रहा है that I need to figure out the number of matchsticks for the 3rd and the 4th shape. तो आप में से कोई बता सकता है what would be the count of number of matchsticks for the 3rd shape? Yes, anyone? I'm not getting the responses from you people. Make sure to respond quickly. Okay, if you notice, हमारा जो difference चल रहा है for the values, it's a difference of 6. We were actually having 12 match sticks in the first shape. Then we ended up having 18. So what would be the match stick count for the third one? It's actually going to be 24. Very good, Ramsha. So shape 3 is going to have 24 match sticks. Now what would be the count for shape number 4? Yes, anyone? Shape 4 में कितने match sticks use होंगे? Anyone having any idea? 30. Now, moving forward, हमें next part में कहा जा रहा है that I need to figure out an expression in terms of n for the number of match sticks for shape n. Now, the sequence is telling us that the difference is of 6. तो हमने 6n की logic use करनी है. We first of all need to figure out the difference, that is of +6. We'll multiply it with n. अगर आप n की जगह पर रखते हो, let's suppose 3, you end up getting 18, but actually it should be 24. तो हम क्या करेंगे, हम +6 कर देंगे right over here. So we end up getting 24 as the final answer. So the formula turns out to be 6n plus 6. In the next part, the examiner is asking that explain why there is not a shape made of 100 match sticks. तो 100 match sticks क्यों यूज नहीं हो रही किसी भी शेप में? रीजन बताना है. The reason is that the formula is telling us that it's 6n plus 6. अगर हमारा फॉर्मूला 6n plus 6 है तो मतलब ये होता है that we are going to have all the values in the table of 6. 6 के टेबल में ही हमारी सारी वैल्यूज मूव होंगी. Why? Because we are not only adding up 6 but we are also multiplying it with 6. तो 6 के अलावा कुछ और नजर ही नहीं आ रहा, which means that all the terms are going to be the multiples of 6. So that's the important thing over here. और इससे हमें ये पता चलता है कि हमारा फॉर्मूला जो 6n plus 6 है वो हमेशा वैल्यूज को मल्टीपल्स ऑफ 6 की फॉर्म में ही देगा. We won't have any other value for any sequence. So that's the reason for part number D. I hope this is perfectly clear. अगर आप में से किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम कोई क्यूरी है तो पूछ लें, otherwise we'll move forward. Okay, can you people see the screen now? Okay, done. So we are having a question over here. Again, this is a question from paper 2, and it's basically the first 3 parts of this question which are related to number pattern and sequence. बाकी remaining parts दूसरे chapter के थे, so we won't be doing those parts. Now starting up with the very first part, they are saying that I need to figure out the value of u5. Now this is basically a sequence जहाँ पर हमें u1 given है as 1 times 2 plus 3 square is equals to 11. The same goes with u2, u3 and then u4. Now they are asking कि भाई हमें u5 बनाकर दे दें. तो u5 कैसे create होगा? For u5 you need to watch all the values correctly. If you see, u4 was having the values like 4 times 5 plus 6 square is equals to 56. Now, if I use the same logic in the next sequence, I would end up having 5 times 6 plus 7 squared. And that is going to be 30 plus 49, which would be 79 as my final answer. I hope this is perfectly clear to all of you. अगर किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम कोई क्यूरी है तो पूछ लें, otherwise we'll move on to the next part. Yes, any one of you having any sort of query with this? Okay, तो अब हम स्टार्ट कर रहे हैं एक और सीक्वेंस which is U6. So can anyone of you tell me what would be the first value to come up in this sequence? The very first value. Yes, any one of you who could tell me the very first value for this sequence? It's going to be 6. Very good. तो हमारे पास आ गया है 6. Then it is going to be multiplied with 6 is going to be multiplied with 7. And then it is finally going to add up with 8 with a square. Now you need to solve it and get the final answer out of this. 6 times 7 is 42 plus 8 squared, which is 64. That would end up giving you 106 as your final answer. तो कुछ इस तरीके से हमने सीक्वेंस को सॉर्ट आउट करना होता है. नाउ इन द वेरी नेक्स्ट पार्ट, which is part B, they are saying we need to write an expression in terms of n for the sequence un. तो un के लिए अब हमें बनाना है एक formula. Now, can any one of you tell me what is going to be the first value over here? Yes, what is going to be the first thing we need to write over here in this particular sequence? सब कुछ n की फॉर्म में ही बनेगा. तो आप में से कोई बता सकता है what would be the very first value? It is going to be n over here. अब अगर नोटिस करें हमारे पास U6 में first term was 6, U5 में the first term was 5, and the same goes with U4 जहाँ पर first term was actually 4. So for un, the first term is going to be n itself being multiplied with one value ahead. अब अगर ahead जा रहे हैं तो that would be n plus 1. Then multiplying it with two values ahead. Because you initiated with 6 over there in the 6th sequence, you then had 7 and finally you had 8. तो कुछ इस तरीके से हमारी सीक्वेंस चल रही थी. Now we are going to make it as n times n plus 1 times n plus 2 with a square. Now it's completely your choice if you wish to simplify it further or you don't. So that's completely your choice. अगर आप चाहें तो simplify कर लें. If you don't want to simplify it, you can just leave it as it is. Now moving forward, they are saying that it was given that un is actually equals to an square plus bn plus c, and we need to find a, b and c. Now the examiner is actually saying कि आपने ये जो sequence बनाया है इसको open करके इस format में लेकर आ जाएं. Once you end up getting this format, you just need to compare the values and figure out the answers for A, B and C respectively. So I'm going to solve it now. It's n times n plus 1 added up with n plus 2 squared. So that's n squared plus n squared 4n plus 4. Now this was actually the identity of a plus b whole square, and it opens up as n squared plus 4n plus 4. Now moving forward, we have the n squares over here, so it is going to be 2n squared. Then we have the n's over here, which is going to become 5n, and finally we have the lone term, which is 4. Now if you compare this with the provided equation, you would ultimately watch on that a, b and c are having some respective values of 2, 5 and 4. So A is going to be 2, B is 5, and C is 4. Now this is how you end up getting your values of A, B and C. I hope this is perfectly clear. अगर आप में से किसी को कोई प्रॉब्लम कोई क्यूरी है तो पूछ लें. Otherwise we'll move forward. Yes, anyone of you having any sort of query on this? Yes. Are you all perfectly clear? Okay, done. We are moving on to the last question of this chapter, and then we'll wrap up this chapter, and you'll be provided with the past paper homework then. Now, this is a important question from paper 2, and that was a very long question. That was actually based on some concepts of number pattern and sequence, and later it transformed into symmetry and similarity and congruency. तो वो लेटर पार्ट हमने यहाँ पर नहीं कवर करना है. वी वुड ओनली गो थ्रू द पार्ट्स रिगार्डिंग द नंबर पैटर्न एंड सीक्वेंस. तो ये क्वेश्चन हमें बता रहा है दैट वी हैव सम सर्टेन सीक्वेंस फॉर द पैरेललोग्राम. इफ यू सी वी हैव द फर्स्ट पैरेललोग्राम, then second, third, fourth, and finally we have the fifth parallelogram. मुझे ये कहा जा रहा है that I need to figure out the number of triangles for the fifth and sixth parallelogram. तो आप में से कोई बता सकता है what is going to be the number of triangles in the fifth and sixth parallelogram? If you can see the sequence, तो आप directly बता सकते हैं that what is going to be the number of triangle count. Yes, anyone of you who could tell me the number of triangles in the fifth and sixth parallelogram? 10 and 12, very good. So for the fifth one, it is going to be a total of 10 triangles, and in the sixth parallelogram, it's going to be a total of 12 triangles. Now moving forward, they are saying find an expression in terms of m for the number of small triangles used to make parallelogram m. तो मुझे ये फिगर आउट करना है कि एक्सप्रेशन क्या बनेगा फॉर दी nth or in fact the mth parallelogram. Now if you see, they are not using the term of n. अब ये n use नहीं कर रहे हैं. In fact, they are using m. So what we are going to do is we are going to create the formula in terms of m instead of n. तो अब हम m use करेंगे formula में और हम t n की जगह पर t m लिखेंगे like this. Now if you see, we have the difference of 2 between the terms. So it is going to be 2 times n. Now for the remaining part, what we actually do is हम n की जगह पर कोई भी एक वैल्यू रखते हैं and we try and solve it. So 2 times 5 is 10, which is actually the same number. तो यहाँ पर हमें कुछ भी फॉर्मूला में ऐड या सब्ट्रैक्ट करने की जरूरत नहीं है. We don't want to or we don't need to add up any sort of value or subtract any sort of value from our formula. So the formula ends up as Tm is equals to 2 times m. अब आप नोटिस करेंगे कि हमने m ही यूज किया है because the examiner was actually using the word m instead of n. तो आपने m ही यूज करना है. अगर आपने n लिख दिया तो मार्क्स कट जाएंगे. And since it is for single mark, so it would go as per the condition of CAO, correct answer only. So if you are like writing it as 2n, it would reward you 0 marks. So make sure that you are looking wisely onto the question and then responding as per the requirement. Now moving to part B, यहाँ पर हमें triangles given है and they are saying that we have the triangle N with 1, 2, 3, 4 and 5 different sizes, and there are smaller triangles present in each larger triangle. Now, can any one of you tell me what would be the count of smaller triangles in the fifth and sixth large triangles? Fifth और sixth shape में हमारे पास कितने small triangles होंगे? Anyone having any idea? Yes, anyone of you having any sort of idea of what would be the count of small triangles in the fifth and sixth shape? $25, very good. So in the fifth triangle, we are going to have 25 smaller triangles. And in the sixth triangle, we are going to have 36 smaller triangles. Now the logic is that you are actually having the perfect squares. It's 1, 4, 9, 16, then 25 and then finally 36. तो आप में से अगर कोई मुझे फॉर्मूला बता सके for the nth shape. Yes, any one of you who could tell me the formula for the nth shape? इस सीक्वेंस में nth शेप पर हमारा फॉर्मूला क्या रहेगा? Anyone? Very good. It's going to be square of n. Whatever the position number is, हम सिर्फ उस position number का square कर रहे हैं. If you see, we are just squaring up the position number. So that is the formula for this particular sequence. Now moving forward, they are saying that triangle Q is made from 324 smaller triangles, and we need to figure out the value of Q. So they have given us the value of Tn as 324, and they are asking us to figure out the n. So it's actually going to be a square root on both sides to get the correct answer. That would end up as 18. So n is going to be 18 in this particular case, जहां पर हमारे पास total smaller triangles का count 324 बनेगा. So that is how you could figure out the value of n for this particular question. Now, are you all perfectly clear with all the logics of number patterns and sequence, or is there any sort of query? If you people like seem to be in need of any more past papers, just let me know, and we'll do a couple more past papers as well. Otherwise, we'll wrap this chapter up, और फिर हमने next chapter start करना है in our next class. So for today, we'll just wind it up over here, or we can do some more past papers. Whatever is convenient for you people. Yes, Varda, Huda, Ramsha, all of you, like, do you want to do more past papers, or shall we just wind it up and you will then be provided with the homework past papers? Okay, I need a confirmation from you, Varda, as well. If you are perfectly clear with all the concepts, all the logics over here, or is there anything that seems to be missing and you need to go through it once again? Okay, perfect, done. So that's a wrap for today. Yeah, Huda, I'm just sending the past papers of matrices. Thank you for reminding me. I wasn't well for a couple of days back, so I wasn't able to look onto the past papers that were sent. I guess sets and Venn diagram के past papers भी शायद deliver नहीं हुए आप लोगों को, because we actually did. No, I guess we have done the sets and Venn diagram. We are missing on matrices, and now we are done with number pattern and sequence as well. By the way, now we are only left with 5 chapters. तो 5 chapters के बाद हमारा syllabus हो जाएगा complete, और most probably by the end of March हमारा syllabus complete हो जाएगा, और उसके बाद हमने move करना है revision classes की तरफ. So any one of you who like wants to leave the classes after March end is allowed to leave, और जो revision करना चाहें वो फिर continue कर सकते हैं group के साथ, because we'll be going all the way until the end of the exam. So whatever seems convenient after that. Hopefully we'll be done within a month with all the left out topics, because we are only left with 5 topics now. So that's a wrap for today. You'll be receiving the past papers shortly. So see you then, inshallah, on Friday. Friday को हमारी एक class होनी है, और फिर उसके बाद Sunday को भी class होगी. So see you then on Friday. Take care. Allah Hafiz.